Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Man's Noble Beer Reviews. Today I have another beer from Fonta Flora Brewing Company out of Nebo, North Carolina. But this is one of their older vintage bottles. So this one was actually brewed at their where their pub location is in Morganton, North Carolina. This beer is called a Plumage. I don't know if you can see there. It says a Appellation style Sahti ale brewed with juniper branches. If you're not familiar with the Sahti style, it is originated in Finland, I believe. I kind of knew about it, but I actually did a little bit of research before I did this video. It says like the peasant workers in the 1500s, and the biggest main thing that I knew about it is generally like a darker, like an amber style beer, but instead of hops they use juniper branches, and for like a bittering type thing. And I guess I don't know if that's the case back then, but at least today, a lot of times they add juniper branches, but it still has hops in it. But the one thing that I assumed that this one was going to be like wild and tart because it says Appellation style, and Appellation style sours what they do. But according to the little bit of research I did, generally this style is like open fermented anyways, which I really didn't know that. I haven't had a lot of beers in this style, but I didn't particularly remember them being tart or wild, but it's honestly been a long time since I had one, so I guess that is the traditional way, which makes sense, that they at least would have been like that back then, because they didn't really have much in the ways of controlling sanitation when it came to brewing or anything like that. But yeah, I've not had this before. I picked this up at one of their vintage bottle sales, so I'm pretty interested to try it because they usually do weird things pretty well. And this is 7.2 ABV, so I'm going to crack it open and see what we got. Man. Took a minute or two. So as you can see, it pours a darker amber color, almost almost brown, with I would say an off-white head that actually is sticking around a little more than a standard wild ale. It is like somewhat cloudy too. Oh man, that definitely has the Fonta Flora leathery, funky house aroma. I wouldn't really say that I'm picking up any juniper, which to me generally, at least when I think of like juniper berries and gin, I think of like a really piney character. I don't really get any of that. I get like leather, a little bit of apple skin, and some like peach notes, which is interesting. And almost like very lightly apple cider vinegar, like Flanders Reds kind of have. It's pretty good. I don't really pull out anything that I would particularly guess was juniper related. This kind of reminds me of a beer that they did somewhat recently. I'm not sure if I did a review for it yet, but I have a bottle in line to do a review for it. It's called Float the Stars, and it's their attempt at a. I can't remember if it's supposed to be Flanders Red or Flemish Brown. So those things are pretty similar in my opinion. One of those styles, and this kind of reminds me of that, but it's not as like acidic and cheesy as that one was. It has a little bit of a roasty malt that you would get in a Flanders or a Flemish Brown. There's a little bit of like smoked malt too, which is interesting. I wonder. So there is rye in this. I wonder if maybe it's something from the rye. But then the back end is all Fonta Flora, like leathery, minerally funk, which is really nice. Again, I did not have this fresh, so I can't say how it changed. So I did say that this is from the vintage sale, but I don't think I said how old this actually is. So, looking at the label, it says bottled August 2016. And usually they sell it a couple months after it was bottled, so I'm guessing it was probably sold right around 3 years ago, because now it's November of 19. So for a 3-year-old beer, this is really good. There's no signs, in my opinion, there's no signs of oxidation. The carbonation level is, pretty perfect. So if the carbonation did change, that means it would have been really carbonated before. Excuse me, and then now it's to a good level. So I'm just going to assume that it just didn't really change. If you told me that this just came out yesterday, I would completely believe it, because there's zero signs of age on this. At least there's zero signs of age going by the fact that I didn't have this fresh. If I had it fresh, there might be some things about it that I noticed are kind of like mellowed out, or just not as bright as they used to be, but definitely no signs of like the generic oxidation and aging type issues. It's almost like a little perfumey too, and maybe that is the juniper. I'm not sure. Yeah, this is really nice. I don't remember what I paid for this, but I think it was like $15 maybe, which I think was probably even a little more than what they originally sold it for. Because usually the seller bottles are a couple dollars more, which I'm perfectly fine with. A few dollar fee for the seller, and not even do it myself is fine. Is this my favorite like mixed culture thing they've done? No. But it's definitely on par with a lot of them, and the fact that it's 3 years old and it is like this weird style and it's as good as it is pretty awesome. So on my scale of buy, drink, dump, I would definitely give this a buy. I don't know, given that this is 3 years old, almost 3 years old when they did this, because I only got this a couple months ago. There's a good chance that they don't have any bottles of this left, or maybe Todd has some bottles, but other than that, I'd be surprised if they sold this again at this point, because it's already 3 years old. So I probably won't have the opportunity to get this again, which is fine. But I am glad that I did buy the bottles that I did, and I got to try it, because this is a pretty nice beer. And I got one other bottle I'm going to share with people next time I go up to Pittsburgh, because I think it's really nice. So that's all I got in this one. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, and I look forward to doing the next one. Thanks.